When it comes to the precision and body control, nothing's harder and more fascinating than gymnastics. Over the decades, it's become the stage for sporting greatness. But there are also some athletes that become memorable due to some mistakes, for being hilarious or just weird. From Paul Hunt's comedy routine to swimming a final all alone, here are some of the funniest gymnastics moments in history. The annoyed phase. The average American would probably be thrilled to win a silver medal at the Olympics, but American gymnast Michaela Maroney looked less than thrilled, almost downright unhappy, despite winning silver in the women's vault. Maroney's reaction exemplifies Cornell psychology professor Thomas Jilovich's research of Olympic medalists, which indicates that athletes who place third are usually happier than those who place second. What's interesting is that during a visit to the White House, the former president, Barack, asked Maroney to take a picture with him, making that face. He was the one who brought it up, Maroney told the Associated Press. The president said, "I pretty much do that face at least once a day. The face has become Maroney's trademark. But it's one thing for fans to ask her about it, quite another when the president does." Swimming alone. Musambani was a wide-eyed 22-year-old when he made his way to Sydney for the Games. The intrepid Musambani was awestruck when he arrived at the Olympic Village and saw the facilities at Homebush Bay, home to the first 50-meter pool he had ever set eyes on. He said, "I was scared by the sight of the first pool I'd be racing in." In preparing for his event, Musambani trained at the same time as the U.S. team and took the opportunity to study their techniques closely and learn from them. He also received assistance from a South African coach. After checking with Musambi that he really was a swimmer competing at the games, the coach handed him a pair of competition trunks and some goggles and helped him work on his technique. Musambani did not race against the top swimmers, but was instead put in the heat for beneficiaries of an Olympic program designed to encourage sports development. In the 100 meters, the two other competitors from Tajikistan and Niger were disqualified for false starts, leaving Musambani to swim alone. He started well enough, but in the second lap, his freestyle slowed to a crawl. The 17,000 crowds in the Aquatic Center in the Olympic Park roared him home in 1 minute and 52.72 seconds. The same day, Dutch swimmer Pieter van den Hoogenband would win the gold and set a world record of 47.84 seconds in his semifinal. Yet, Musambani had made a splash. The global media, fans, and sponsored embraced Eric the Eel. A rogue bee attack. Continuing their effort to terrorize mankind's finest athletes, a rogue bee attacked two medal winners at the 2014 FIG Artistic Gymnastics World Championship back. The primary target appeared to be Simone Biles, a 17-year-old American gymnast who had just won her second consecutive all-around title at the competition. Biles stepped onto the medal podium to accept her award when another competitor pointed out the winged insurgent hiding in her flower bouquet. Biles noticed the bee, and chaos ensued. The gold medal winner hopped off the platform and screamed and ducked as the bee dove toward her head. The tiny bombardier also made a pass at bronze medalist Kyla Ross, who reacted similarly. Why was it there? What did it want? The simple answer is pollen, but the grim reality is that these flying insects are controlled by a hive mind bent on exterminating humanity from the earth. Paul Hunt's comedy. To compete in gymnastics, one has to be in top physical shape in order to perform the jumps and flips required on the mat. Paul Hunt is a gymnast famously known not only for his incredible skills, but a sense of humor as well. Hunt became national champion in the United States in 1972 and eventually went on to coaching and worked his way up to the Olympic level. While coaching, he observed many of the common mistakes that young gymnasts make, and it gave him the idea for the routine that became famous because of him. He thought, wouldn't it be funny to dress up as a female gymnast and perform a comedic floor exercise? He took on the persona of Paulette Hunsanova, or Paulina Huntesque. And when he flipped and fell or fumbled as he tumbled, the crowd loved it, laughing and cheering to his every move. Men might find some of Hunt's goofy pratfalls a bit difficult to watch, but it was for a purely comedic purpose, and Paul loved the laughs. Knitting Tom. If watching the Olympic competitions has been sparking a bit of anxiety, you might want to turn to knitting. British diver Tom Daley certainly has. Photos of Daley knitting were posted all over social media when the athlete sat in the stands watching the women's springboard diving event in Tokyo in 2021. Daley said on Instagram that knitting has become his way of finding calm, mindfulness, and it relieves stress. He even has a separate knitting account called Made with Love by Tom Daley, where he posts his creations, including doggy jumpers that he sells to raise money for charity. If that's surprising, Tom has converted that hobby into a business, launching a website that sells knitting kits for sweaters, blankets, accessories, and even a pink flamingo named Elvis. Aljaž Pagan bar break. Aljaž Pagan is a gymnast from Slovenia who excelled at the horizontal and parallel bars. He was a champion in both the World and European leagues. One of the funniest moments involved Pagan during the 1999 championship in Glasgow. Aljaž had begun his routine in the parallel bars when something unthinkable happened. The bar snapped, and Pagan was shot down the floor in the middle of his routine. Now, we're not sure what's more hilarious, that Pagan didn't know his own strength, or that Glasgow's Olympic League has some explaining to do. After all, no Olympic bar should snap when any gymnast is attempting their routine. That's downright unsafe. Aljaž Pagan was one of the best to ever handle the horizontal bar, and his claim to fame for the parallel bars is that he was too strong for the other competition. Literally. Stopped at the airport. This one is both hilarious and sad. Italian high jumper Gianmarco Tamberi made history in Tokyo when he and rival Mutaz Barshim both received gold in the high jump. The two athletes received the prize after clearing 2.37 meters, rejecting the opportunity to jump again and sharing the glory. Tamberi is known as one of the greatest characters of modern athletics, often sporting half a beard for finals. The Italian star is now an Olympic, European, and world indoor champion following his success in Tokyo. After picking up the greatest honor in his field, the Italian star headed home to celebrate with his family and friends. Going through customs, the security guards asked him to reveal the medal after the metal detector went off. Tamberi then presented his shiny prize before asking, "Can I take it? Or do I have to leave it here?" The security guards appeared to say yes as the jumper picked up his gold medal and resumed his journey home. The death stare. Phelps is the most decorated Olympic athlete of all time, with 23 gold medals and 28 in total. Apart from his heroics in the swimming pool, there's also another moment attached to him and the Olympics that's etched in our memory. That's of Phelps giving a vicious stare, which was termed as death stare in media, to South African swimmer Chad de Klaas before the 200-meter butterfly event at Rio Olympics. The South African had stunned Phelps in London in 2012 in the same event to win gold. In 2016, Phelps had his revenge by winning the yellow medal. Bored lifeguard. If you ever feel useless, just remember that someone is lifeguard at the Olympic swimming event. The Olympic Games invited the world's strongest swimmers to compete in its poolside sporting events. However, when it comes to hosting the event, it appears that safety always comes first, even if they're the best in the world at what they do. Viewers of a men's swimming event at the 2016 Olympics were left baffled by the presence of a lifeguard during the contest. The poolside aide was pictured in the background of a swimming event, looking extremely bored as viewers noted that the woman's skills were unlikely to be acquired by the expert athletes. According to Brazilian law, it's a legal requirement to have a lifeguard on duty at all times in any public pool over a certain size. However, this did not stop viewers of the sporting event from taking to Twitter to express their bafflement over the lifeguard's appearance. Which one of these videos did you find the funniest? Let us know in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it, and also subscribe to our channel for more amazing content. Thanks for watching, we'll catch you in the next one.